Hi there. This week we're going to be talking about addition. I'm hoping you're somewhat comfortable with addition, and that's going to allow us to focus on learning to be more flexible in our thinking with numbers as we add. This week we'll also be using a lot of mental math. As you do your work this week, I do not want you using a calculator. I want all the math you do to be in your head using mental math. Some other words that we use for addition are add, plus, or sum. All of these words mean to add, or to find the total, or to put together. These are all things that we do with addition. And the symbol that we use is this. We usually call it a plus. So one of the strategies that you will look for, that I want you to use this week, is to look for numbers that combine to make nice numbers, like numbers that combine to make 10. So 1 plus 9 is an example. 2 plus 8 is an example. 3 plus 7 makes a nice 10. 4 plus 6, and 5 plus 5. All of these combinations make 10. And I want you to keep an eye out for these, and I'll show you in the book in just a minute. Another strategy that I want you to think about using this week is to take and give. So for instance, if we're adding 9 plus 3, one strategy is to start with a higher number, start with a 9, and add 3. So whether using your fingers or just counting out loud, starting with 9, 10, 11, 12. But another strategy would be to break the 3 into 2 and 1, and take the 1 and give it to the 9, because I know 9 only needs 1 to make 10. So then I have 10 and I add what's left to get 12. Now I know that may seem like kind of a long way around to get the answer, but you can actually practice this and get pretty quick at it in your head. Another example would be 8 plus 5. So 5 can break into 2 plus 3, and 8 needs 2 to make a nice 10, and then we would only need to add the 3 to get 13. So again, I do think it's quicker, it's longer for me to explain, but it's quicker to think this in your head. Oh, take 2 from 5 to make 10, 3 left, 13. So those are the strategies I want you to be looking for. And 2 of the pages you will use them on is page 21. They call this the timed addition drill. I do not want you to time yourself. I'm not interested in timing. I'm interested in you being flexible in your math. So for instance, 6 plus 8. There's a few ways to do this, but I know that 6 needs 4 to make 10, and 8 breaks into 2 different 4s. So one of the 4s can make 10, and the other 4 is left over. It's 14, and I didn't have to do any adding other than thinking about that in my head. I didn't have to use my fingers or anything like that. 7 plus 3 makes a nice 10. Here's another one I can use I know the 9 needs 1 to make a 10, and then that leaves 4, so that's 14. So that's a strategy you can use on that page. And on page 22, column addition, they're showing when you add more than 2 numbers, you focus on 2 at a time, but you could take them in any order you want, because adding numbers can happen in any order. So for instance, maybe use that same strategy we just used. You don't have to do what they said. You can break the 8 into 4 and 4. One of the 4s goes to the 10, and then you can combine what's left. So that's what's left from there is another 4. 3 of those make 10. So then there's 1, so it's 21. You may not follow my thinking on it, but I want to point out that you do not have to do what they say here. You can make 10s any way you want. The book does not suggest making 10s, but that's a strategy I'd like you to use. For instance, right here, 8 and 2 make a nice 10, and then 4 and 3 are 7, so it would be 17. So this is the kind of thing we'll be talking about when we meet this week in Zoom. Good luck.